CCX Sports presents coverage of the 2020 State Class 4A Girls Basketball Tournament. Today, a quarterfinal round matchup between the Blue Jackets from Cambridge-Isanti and the Royals from Hopkins. From venerable Williams Arena in Minneapolis, John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, a big moment for Cambridge-Isanti, their first time in the state tournament in 21 years. They were the number 4 seed out of Section 7. Upset the number 1 seed Andover, then took out Forest Lake, another higher seeded team to get here, and their matchup is with the number 1 seed. But man, it's a great time for the basketball fans in those communities to be here today.
Well, and what's really neat too, John, is they got beat pretty handily by those teams during the regular season. So to kind of get some revenge and beat both of those teams, and they're riding high, they're playing really good basketball. They got great balance, they got good depth. Unfortunately, the reward is you get to play against Hopkins, maybe the best team in the country, for sure, the best team in the state. So I'll tell you what, my advice to these girls and to this program is enjoy it. You're getting to play where the Gophers play. It's a great stage. Win or lose, leave it on the floor, and we'll talk about it, but they got some great stories on this team.
They come in with a 20-9 record. Hopkins 28-0, and they have won 60 in a row altogether over the past 2 seasons, defending state 4A champions. They know what it's like to play on this stage, and I don't think they probably have quite the nerves. You're always a little bit, jacked up that first day, and you've played through that before here in the past.
Yeah, they're no stranger to the state tournament, but I think what sets in for someone like Paige Bueckers is just that realization that your high school career could be over if you don't have a good half or a good game. And there's urgency, and great players usually take that urgency, John, and they play even better. They don't get nervous or uptight. So I'm expecting Hopkins to come out here, defending state champions. They're on a mission. They've had a tough schedule. They beat a great Wayzata team that we saw, and they may not see a team better than that Wayzata team. So they're going to be ready to go, come out swinging here.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Blue Jackets, a senior captain, Janet Swanson, averaging a double-double, averages over 14 points per game and nearly 11 rebounds, and really a great story that we'll get into today, but a player that's worked really hard to get to this point and be a healthy player in her senior season.
Well, she got to play varsity as a 7th grader, so she's a very talented player, physical player. She's got a bunch of double-doubles, 14 and 10 you see on the average on the season. So they're going to need her big. She's got to have her hands full with Maya Naji. She needs to be able to play great defense and rebound and also provide scoring. But what a remarkable story. Great to see her here and enjoying the fruits of all her hard work and recovery that she's had to go through.
And for Hopkins, player that was named National Player of the Year this week by Gatorade, Paige Bueckers received her trophy from Carl Anthony Towns this week. He came to Hopkins and gave her the trophy, and so many accolades for this young lady and deserving of them all.
Well, we could go on and on about all those accolades, but I can guarantee if you talk to Paige, the only thing that matters to her is a 2-time state champion. That's what she wants to be remembered as, but very deserving. She's phenomenal. She kind of gives this team everything they need, whether it's scoring, playmaking. You look at her stats, John, the thing that's most impressive to me is the 9.5 assists. I mean, she just, to be able to do that and average 21 points, she dominates a ball game, and she can do it without even scoring the basketball.
All right, we play at Williams Arena. What does that bring into how does that factor into today's game?
I actually like it better than the Target Center. I think the Target Center with the depth perception is a little bit different for shooters. Williams Arena is historically a very good shooting facility, a good rims. You don't have quite that same depth perception issue, but it's a big stage, right? It's a neutral site. It's where the Gophers play, so you got that excitement, behind you. But I just think whoever, you get to the state tournament, whoever settles down and just plays, and whoever can do that sooner is going to have an advantage.
We'll come back and tip this one off. Cambridge-Isanti and Hopkins state quarterfinal basketball next on CCX. Over the last 5 years, we have seen Paige Bueckers go from being an 8th grader in the shadow of some other great players
On the drive, scores, wow.
to leading a team that has been undefeated for 2 seasons. Paige has developed into not only the best player in the state of Minnesota, but perhaps in the whole country.
Variety of ways she can beat you.
Some players can take over a game. Well, Paige has taken over the sport. Even with all the accolades, it doesn't change who she is. A hard-working player who still has the hunger to achieve great things.
It looked like she was cheating, but she wasn't. It was a fantastic move.
We're excited to see what the future holds for Paige. Basketball is a team sport, and while Paige Bueckers isn't the only player on Hopkins, today we celebrate her contributions to this team and to the sport of basketball. Hopkins and Paige Bueckers getting ready to go in this quarterfinal round game. They are excited, Ryan, to play, and they look at each opponent as they come. They're not looking past Cambridge to either Stillwater or Park Center tomorrow or ahead to Saturday. You got to take care of business here this morning.
Yeah, you do. And remember, too, they were the #1 team, her freshman and sophomore years, too, and they did not win those state championships. So I think they recognize that they can't look ahead. They got to take each minute by minute, half by half, and that's why I expect them to come out and play with a sense of urgency.
We'll take a break and come back, give you the starting lineups, and then tip this one off. The Royals and the Blue Jackets next.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
It took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Cambridge-Isanti and Hopkins ready to tip off. Let's look at the starting lineups for these teams. First of all, for the Blue Jackets, unseeded in this tournament. Their forwards are Molly Hennon. She is a 5'9" senior. Janet Swanson, a 6' senior. The guards, Michaela Almer, a 5'9" sophomore. Jackie Olander, 5'10" senior. And Amy Shaforian, a 5'10" senior. For Hopkins, 28-0, the #1 seed in the tournament. Forwards, Taylor Woodson, a 5'11" freshman. Maya Najee, 6'4" sophomore. Paige Bueckers, one of the guards, a 6' senior. Amaya Battle, 5'11" sophomore. And KK Adams, 5'7" senior. Hopkins in the black with the royal blue and white trim. Blue Jackets in white with the blue numbers. And we are underway in the first possession for Hopkins. Bueckers immediately goes into Najee, around and down.
Yeah, and I like that strategy. When you're in a new arena, don't start out by shooting threes and from perimeter. Go right into your strength, and Maya Najee's got a big size advantage, John.
Blue Jackets beat the press, putting it on the floor. Olander, one of the real leaders for this Blue Jackets team. Now into the hands of Shaforian. Pass deflected, but caught cleanly on the perimeter. Three-point shot not good from Almer, and rebounded by Najee. Battle will bring it to the front court. Woodson then out to the corner. Bueckers' pass gets deflected, out of bounds, and off of Cambridge-Isanti.
Yeah, the nice thing I noticed there, Cambridge-Isanti, John, the shot went up. They're not crashing the boards. They are getting back on defense, and you might give up a couple offensive rebounds, but I think it's more important that you try to slow Hopkins down in transition.
Battle into Woodson and close, misses. And the rebound to Olander. Pass ahead to the front court to Hennon. Hennon misses in close, and rebound by Woodson.
Even though she missed that was a great drive, and you can't play scared or tentative against Hopkins. You got to attack them. She did. She just didn't make the shot.
Battle up and in with a short jumper for her first basket. It's 4-0 Hopkins.
Doesn't she get overlooked? I think Maya Battle would be, one of the best players on any other team, and she just, you don't hear her think a lot about her, but she is such a good player.
Olander looking in to Swanson, then back out to Almer. Left corner, Shaforgan. Now Jackie Olander looking over that defense, trying to find someone open. Starts a drive in the basket. Tough shot, gets fouled, and will go to the line to shoot two.
And that's the thing, Hopkins does, they pressure the ball so well, they deny passing lanes. If you can, take that initial pressure and drive to the basket, there are lanes available, but you got to attack. You can't hesitate at all, and Olander does a nice job. She's their senior point guard. She's really kind of that high-energy, spirited player for Cambridge-Isanti. They need her to be aggressive, and everyone else will kind of take note of that.
And the senior gets the Blue Jackets' first point of the game. Foul on Battle. Got them both. So 4-2, 2 minutes in. They quickly get it down court. Najee unable to convert at the basket. Battle back out to Bueckers, attacking, then gives the short pass off, and Battle's got her second hoop.
Nice throw ahead here. A nice chance for an easy layup. Got to make it.
And Swanson able to score. Bueckers throws it ahead for Woodson. Turnaround, around and down.
That's the thing, though. You score a transition layup on one end. Hopkins coming right back.
Swanson again behind the defense. Najee, though, gets her hands up, helps to block that. Olander coming down the lane, lost it off to Swanson. Nice little up and under move and scores.
A great hustle by Olander. Goes to her knees, but doesn't travel, stays with it, and kicks it over to Swanson, who's had a couple of nice baskets. So I like what Cambridge-Isanti is doing, John. They're not slowing down. They're not letting that pressure get to them. They're attacking.
To the basket, Woodson unable to connect on the pass from Bueckers. Here's Olander. Pass, and Woodson stepping in front of Hennon gets the steal for the Royals. Back comes Battle to Bueckers on the perimeter. Woodson, KK Adams for 3 hits.
She seems to come alive at state tournament time too, doesn't she? Such a good three-point shooter. She can really shoot 41% from 3, and she seems to always get hot at this time of year too.
Royals by 5. Pass down low. Forgan able to get it off. Good pass and one. Hennon scores and draws the foul.
I like what the Blue Jackets are doing offensively. They're not letting that pressure get to them. They're handling it well, throwing the ball around. Nice catch here, a good step through, and a nice strong finish too by Hennon. Only averages 2.5 points a game, but she's kind of their energy player, great defender. And there she got a nice bucket.
Free throw short. Woodson another rebound. Adams doesn't have the numbers. Tried to go inside and out of bounds. Nunu Agara, 24, in for Hopkins. Elena Contreras also in now, number 4 for the Royals. Inbound denied by Swanson, but it deflects to Contreras. Bueckers, short jumper up and in. He was the last Hopkins starter to score and puts in 2.
Yeah, and I think that's deliberate, John. I think she likes to get her teammates going in these big games and let them feel comfortable and get a nice rhythm going.
Agara denying the pass. Swanson was open underneath, and Agara gets up and deflects it.
The other thing I like, she didn't settle for a 3 there. Look at her attack, split that little double team right there and gets to a nice, easy mid-range jump shot. She's so prolific at the mid-range.
Hennon missing on the inbound and stolen by Contreras. Cross for Bueckers, 1 touchdown to Battle, and trying to go inside for Agara, and that's stolen by Cambridge-Isanti. Back come the Blue Jackets. Olander finds her teammate, and Bueckers commits the foul. It'll push on Almer from behind.
Yeah, nice cut by Almer. Yeah, you don't see hesitation right now offensively for the Blue Jackets. Now, getting stops is a whole nother issue, but at least scoring the basketball. You got to score a lot of points. You know, that was one of my issues. You know, they average 65 a game. You got to be in the 80s more than likely to beat Hopkins.
Miranda Broger into the game, one of the captains, and out of bounds on the inbound. Almer. Royals by 5. We've played 4.5 minutes here in the first half. Bueckers slicing through, then off to Contreras. Missed on the 3. Rebound Najee, up and in.
That's what's so difficult about guarding Hopkins. You play good defense, you force the initial shot, but you got to deal with Maya Najee. There's a turnover. Maya Najee, you got to deal with a lot of length. Taylor Woodson, Paige Bueckers can rebound. Battle's long. See, look at the length. What a big time rebound. Goes back with that big long arm. Snags it.
Bueckers to Najee. 2 more. Maya Najee with 6 and a timeout for Cambridge-Isanti as it's now 17-8 Hopkins.
I'll tell you what makes Paige so good is that simple play right there that she just made, John, is you see her catch it, and it was a touch pass to the middle. Watch her as she knows right now where she's going with it. And the difference is a lot of players would catch that, they'd pivot, they'd look, and by the time they'd go to make that, it would be closed off. She saw that play a couple seconds ahead, so as soon as she got it, bam, the ball was already to Maya and got an easy look. And it's not something that's going to be an amazing play of the week or a stat sheet, but it's just little plays like that that make the game easier for her teammates.
Already has 3 assists here in the first half.
Well, I missed you. I hadn't seen you since late last night. Right. Doing some broadcasting. It was good to see you again this morning.
It's been 10 hours. Olander into the front court, draws some pressure on the perimeter. Contreras gets a hand in there, loose ball. Battle has it, and Olander able to get it to Swanson, and somehow the Blue Jackets come out of there with the ball. Almer from 15, short, rebounded by Swanson. She goes to the basket, missed it, and rebounded by Amaya Battle. Off to Bueckers. Oh, that pass to Najee. Didn't result in a basket, but 2 free throws. He had a lot of zip on that one. First foul of the game on the Blue Jackets. Look at it again.
Yeah, little no-look pass, and it's not one of those passes that hangs in the air. It gets there from point A to point B really quick. All Maya Najee has to do is go up and shoot, draw some contact.
Najee told us earlier this year there was one thing she had to get used to when she came to the varsity level is being on the receiving end of those passes, being ready for it and have her hands ready. Well, and she said it lost a lot of them out of bounds early.
When you hear that with like guys that played with Magic Johnson when he first came into the league, and Larry Bird, when you're playing with greatness, they see it usually a second or two before most people do. So you got to be ready, and your job is to run, get open, and then be ready to catch. And Maya's certainly done a nice job of that this year.
Almer in some trouble, throws off of Bueckers' foot and out of bounds. So Cambridge keeps possession.
Yeah, you can tell the pressure's kind of ratcheted up here the last few possessions. Number 1 versus number 1 here. And the last thing you want to do, you can't fall down, you can't lose your dribble. You got to keep that dribble, try to stay in the center of the court.
Inbound here, some trouble again for the Blue Jackets. A tie-up jump ball. Will stay with Cambridge-Isanti.
Yeah, these dead ball situations allows Hopkins to get their press set up. Cambridge-Isanti's done a pretty good job after makes of getting that ball and running and trying to beat the pressure.
Olander's had a couple of great games in the section tournament to get the Blue Jackets to this point. They pass down to Swanson, traveled.
Yeah, Olander scoring 25, 17 points, getting to the free throw line. She's been a big scorer, averaging just under double figures, and they're going to need her scoring again today.
Royals lead has stretched to 11 now. Agara into Najee. Back to Najee, one dribble, puts it up and in. 10 points now, averaging 20 a game. Think about how good she's going to be by the time she's a senior in high school. This is a sophomore.
She is, and you got to also remember too, though, that she gets a lot of one-on-one opportunities because so much attention and focus is on Paige.
Great drive, Olander, but erased by Agara. Follow-up, Swanson's there, and she scores. Yes. 6 points now for Jana Swanson.
Yeah, a couple of rebounds too. She's on her way maybe to another double-double. She's been a double-double machine this year.
Drive by Agara, not good. Man. Najee, 2 more.
She is just dominant right now, and there's no one on the floor that can keep her off the boards or can match her size, strength, and length. I'll tell you another one, John, that's going to be really good to watch as she gets older is Nunu Agara.
Absolutely. Freshman that grew some in the offseason, starting to come into her own game. Swanson draws the foul here as you look at the basket a moment ago for Najee.
What's impressive there is you see those rebounds. I mean, those are one-armed rebounds where she's reaching all the way back. She's got really good hands.
Jana Swanson, a great story. 3 ACL injuries.
Unreal.
Had them on both legs, able to come back, be healthy the last 2 seasons. But she said it really took a toll on her mentally. She was very open about this in an article on her in the paper, how she went through depression. She was just sitting home after those knee injuries, and just a great advocate for mental health, which is such an issue with a lot of teams these days. And she's a great story to tell for this Blue Jackets team.
Oh, wow.
Quick transition, and Taylor Woodson has the basket.
Great pass, but even a better catch. That's not easy when you're running full speed like that. She's able to grab a hold of that and still be able to catch and finish. That was beautiful. Battle
at a steal, but then her foot on the sideline and out of bounds. Jody Liedall, 17th year as head coach at Cambridge-Isanti, and they said their fans are so excited to be here. First time, as I mentioned, in 21 seasons. 4th seed in Section 7, and took out Andover and Forest Lake to get here today.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you read that, the story about Jana Swanson and Coach Liedall. The neat thing is how much he cares about his players. That's what stood out to me. He texts them all the time, and generally, obviously cares about winning and losing in basketball, but just cared about Jana and how she was doing and feeling, and kind of a neat relationship he has with his players. That's what really stood out to me.
Shot missed by Adams from the corner and rebounded by Sheforgan. She's a player certainly capable of scoring in double figures. Has not scored yet today for them, and they'd like to get her going. And here's a steal almost. Well, Adams had a hand on it.
Oh, John, that ball was right
my chance.
That was
right over my head.
I thought you were going to jump up for that. I didn't want you to tear an Achilles or all this ACL talk.
I comfortably stayed in my seat. (25-10) Hopkins. Here's Bueckers, right side. Back out Contreras. Into Agara, slices through a couple of defenders and scores.
I'm a big fan of her. 6'1". She's long. She can score. She can rebound. I'm telling you, next year when she's playing a little bit bigger of a role, she's going to be her. They got a lot of people coming back. And there's Brian Cosgriff, 21st season. Look at that career record: 567 and 67. You know what that winning percentage is? 89%. A lot of people have that 1 or 2 great years, but to be able to sustain that kind of greatness for 21 years, hats off to him. He's one of the best around, and a great guy too, great teacher. And I just love talking to him. I love watching his teams. His teams are always prepared. They're always going to play extremely hard too.
Second game coming up on CCX. Park Center and Stillwater, the 4-5 matchup. Well, Park Center got a little underseeded. They had a good record. I thought they could have been a 3 seed.
Well, they gave it to St. Michael Albertville, but like you and I talked about before the games, is they beat them earlier in the year, had a better overall record, but St. Michael Albertville gets that, and they're going to have a tough game too against Lakeville North. But that Park Center Stillwater, that might be the game of the first round, just as far as competitiveness. And pretty close. Stillwater, a runner-up last year, so they're no stranger to the state tournament as well.
3 members of the Lake Conference in the 4A tournament. St. Nicola Albertville, a new member to the Lake this year, along with Eden Prairie and, of course, Hopkins.
You know, and Wayzata probably should be in the state tournament, too. You could probably have a case for 4 Lake Conference teams that are, you know, should be still playing at this time.
Double team on Olander. They are able to get the ball. Oh, Battle gets back and blocks Peyton Larkin's shot out of bounds.
Not only did she block it, that was like a volleyball spike. Watch the two-handed block.
Yeah, both hands. Yeah.
Timed it perfectly.
Shaforian with it. He'll drive on Agara off the glass, up and in. Nice basket.
Yep, and like you said, she's capable of putting up some pretty big scoring nights, and they're going to need her. That was a nice, just decisive move to the basket, able to knock it down.
Bueckers across. Adams misses long, out of bounds, off Cambridge-Isanti and out. Najee in. Bueckers will get a brief rest. Lob in to Najee, up, and we'll go to the line. So Blue Jackets think, oh, we catch a break. Bueckers out, but then they bring Najee back in. And she'll go to the line for 2 more.
Yeah, I like that out of bounds action. They got a couple of different actions off. You got shooters coming off, so you got to jump out at them, and then Maya just seals right by the rim, and she's so tall, you just throw it up. All she has to do is catch and turn.
And comes out. Najee 2 out of 3 from the line. And already a dozen points for her today.
And she's a 74% free throw shooter, so very, very capable at the free throw line. But how about this, too? 60% from the field. So she's a very efficient scorer. That means she's taking a lot of good shots, and she's making them.
Cambridge-Isanti able to break the press, and then some pressure on the sideline as Hennon able to release the ball finally to Shaforian. Olander will dribble out high and they work it right side. Olander cutting, missed the shot, and it's taken away by Adams. Adams out. Agara for 3. Second made 3-pointer by Hopkins.
Yeah, both from the same spot, too. And that's transition there. You run to the rim because you got people running right to the front of the rim with Maya Najee. Instead, you leave Agara, and she buries it.
3 for Miranda Broger, off. Chased down, though, by Shaforian. Olander coming down. That gets erased by Najee. And then stolen back by Olander. Shaforian will put up the 3 and hit.
Yeah, she can get hot.
Contreras to Battle. Adams will try, missed on this one, and kept alive by Olander on the floor. Finally, jump ball.
Great hustle by Olander, fighting for it, staying on the floor.
Bueckers and Woodson return for Hopkins. And Contreras and Agara out. Swanson's back in for Cambridge-Isanti as Battle will inbound. Trying to get it in for Najee, knocked out of bounds by Olander.
Yeah, defended pretty well there. There were lots of action going on. They were communicating, switched it, and able to get in that passing lane.
Bueckers from outside, a 3. Averaging 21.9 points per game. She's got 5 today.
Yeah, shooting 38% from 3. Haven't seen her shoot as many of them this year, but there's, you can tell she's got the range. That shot was as pure as it comes.
Put up 33 against Wayzata in the section final. Turnover. Steal by Battle, pushing it ahead. Bueckers off to Woodson. Too strong, rebounded by Swanson. Olander gets fouled in the backcourt by Woodson.
Yeah, here's a look at Paige here. Look how deep she is here. Give her a couple feet of space like that. She's capable. She's as good of a three-point shooter as anyone around. Just doesn't take them as much. The reason is because she can get a better shot usually whenever she wants to. And, you know, she's averaging 21, and people might say, well, if she's that great, why isn't she averaging 40 or 35? Listen, folks, if she wanted to, she could average it. We saw that in that Wayzata game, and they needed scoring. She was able to do it pretty easily.
Bueckers for three again. This one not good, and rebounded by Almer of Cambridge-Isanti. Trapped near half court, able to keep her dribble. Release the pass. Hennon trying to get it to Swanson. And a steal for Hopkins. Another Blue Jackets turnover. Bueckers to Adams. Rolls in a three. It's 37-15 Hopkins. 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Woodson almost picked up another foul.
Nice pass.
Great passing, and Hennon able to finish.
Yeah, Shafforgan there.
Excuse me, Swanson able to finish.
Beautiful pass. Swanson's definitely on her way to a double-double.
Woodson up, not good. Swanson gets a hand on it. Shafforgan has it. Outlet to Almer. She'll pull up from 17. Off the iron, rebounded by Swanson. Shafforgan open. Now off to Hennon. All tapped away from behind. Active hands again for Hopkins. Forces another turnover. Bueckers back. A three ball. Not a good by Adams. Olander to Almer. Has to pull up. Not good. And a foul on Woodson. And she knocked down Shafforgan. That'll be two on Taylor Woodson.
Well, Cambridge-Isanti, I think, getting pretty good looks. Almer, you know, their leading scorer, very capable of knocking those down. I like that little pull-up jump shot, just not able to get them to fall.
Kelly Boyle, 5'4" freshman, into the game for the first time. Here's a player that I think is going to be part of Hopkins varsity on a more regular basis in years to come. Just can't find a time on the court right now. Swanson, another basket. She's got 10 points.
And that was great patience, a good shot fake and step through. Not easy to do against Maya Naji with that length, but Swanson showing why she's going to Bemidji State, making a couple of great plays.
Bueckers down to Naji. She'll go to the line and shoot two.
Yeah, anytime Hopkins has been able to get the ball in the middle of that zone, they've really been able to destroy it. Either with that little free throw line jump shot or that time a little high-low action with Paige and Maya. Really hard to defend. You got to keep the ball out of the middle if you're the Blue Jackets.
This free throw is up and in. A foul on Swanson is her first. Battle back in for Hopkins. Got them both, and it's 39-19. Bueckers and Boyle right out defensively at midcourt there. Shafforgan trying to get past Naji. Will go under, and Naji denies it, blocks it out of bounds.
Oh, that was a great move, too, by Shafforgan. Nice little step through. The problem is there's such length. Watch Maya Naji here step through and timing, too. She gets a block without picking up a foul, too. Not easy to do. Whoa.
Missed inside, then Swanson had her foot on the baseline out of bounds.
Yeah, even if she hadn't, I don't know where that ball was. That ball was heading out of bounds anyways.
Just over 4 minutes to play here in the first half. Contreras traveled. Hopkins pretty good with the basketball today. Not too many turnovers. And they've been able to force Cambridge-Isanti a little bit out of their game and out of their comfort zone and force a number of turnovers on this end of the floor. Palmer to Shafforgan. Palmer, Bueckers blocks that from behind.
Well, we saw her get 3 or 4 blocks against Wayzata last week. She's a very capable shot blocker. She's got long arms. She's got great length.
Contreras baseline left, not good. Najee rebounds. It's claps and good for 2 more.
Yeah, she's a load down there. And you can see not a lot of offense necessarily going through her. She's gotten a lot of them on second chance points and offensive rebounds. She's just so good.
And a steal by Boyle. The Bueckers back for Boyle, up and in.
Oh, you love to see that, don't you? You can see Boyle was going to give it up to Paige, and Paige said, no, I want you to score. Gave it back. I love that. Great unselfish play, beautiful teamwork. And that's why her teammates love playing with her, because she don't care about scoring and stats. She just wants to win and wants everyone to enjoy it.
Forgan for 3 hits. Her second three-pointer.
She's got 8. She's been a bright spot here first half scoring for the Blue Jackets.
Baseline 3, not good from Contreras. Najee, another rebound, trying to rip through it. Back out to Battle. Little attack, up and in. 6 points for Amaya Battle.
Now, how many second chance points do you think Hopkins has got, John, in this first half? Just a ton, and most of them coming from Maya Najee's rebound.
Bueckers gets the steal. Ahead to Boyle as Battle with her. Up and in.
Beautiful. Great job by Paige, staying on her knees, fighting for it, throwing it ahead. And Boyle returns the unselfish play from a moment ago and gives it up to Battle for the easy layup.
Contreras almost had a steal, almost had a foul as well. 3-pointer for Palmer. Not good. Swanson rebounds, waits for the defenders to commit. Missed the shot, thought she got fouled. And it's Contreras with it for Hopkins. Bueckers puts it on the floor, back out. Contreras swinging left side for Boyle for 3. Rattles home a 3-pointer.
Doesn't get a ton of time playing, but has made the most of it. 5 points here in just a minute or so.
Blocking foul here. This will be the 7th team foul on Hopkins, and 1-1 for Cambridge-Isanti.
Good unselfish play, making the extra pass, and Boyle knocks it down.
Kayla Almer to the line for a 1-1. First point for the sophomore today.
She's going to be a good player, too. She's only a sophomore. You can tell she's aggressive, confident, got a beautiful looking shot. Great experience for her as an underclassman here, getting to play on this stage against Hopkins. Only going to grow from that.
Timeout on the floor with 20 to play in the first half. Paige Bueckers through the years, came in, played some already as an 8th grader, and then scoring-wise, see the numbers start to pick up, Ryan, right from that freshman year on.
Yeah. She was great as a freshman, got the confidence from playing as an 8th grader, so she was ready to go. And her junior year, really her biggest scoring year, and her senior year, again, I think she could average 35, but I look at that assist number right there and how much she's gotten to get her teammates to buy in and be involved, and she gets as much joy from that as she does from scoring for herself, and that's what's truly makes her, I think, an elite player, is she just does whatever her team needs. You love unselfish superstars like that.
Past Leslie Knight is the all-time leading scorer. It held the record since 2004, and Zoomed past that by some 500 points here in her senior year.
Pretty cool to see the list of those all-time leading scorers for Hopkins, how much talent they've had over the years. And I mean, we're talking a number of players going high-level Division I basketball, and to see Paige kind of tower above all that, pretty unreal.
Under a minute now to play in the first half. Woodson turned face the basket, missed, follow-up underneath is in for Agara.
Yeah, you could kind of relax, you think, if you're Cambridge-Isanti. Najee's on the bench. We don't got to worry about offensive rebounding. Wait a minute. There's Nunu cleaning up. She's had a good first half as well.
35 seconds to go. Shaforgan turns, shot over Boyle, not good, rebounded by Woodson.
Well, she got a good look. I think realizing that the smaller Boyle was on her, just backed her down, got a good look, just couldn't get it to fall.
20 seconds to go. Under 10, still in the hands of Elena Contreras. Now we'll start it. Giving it to Agara. Trying to go underneath. Adams at the buzzer and in.
Didn't look like there was much down there on the baseline. Pass got deflected, but KK Adams able to find it somehow, some way, gets it up there and it falls. So things going pretty well right now for the Hopkins Royals.
And you look at the Royals, they rushed the floor like they just won the game right there, right? The buzzer beater to end the first half.
Well, I think it just tells you they're not going to be complacent. They know they can't look ahead like you mentioned early in the game. And you can see the urgency that they've come out with and the intensity, and good to see. When you got a champion that has a ton of talent, hunger, and also the attention to detail that the Royals do, that's not a good combination for everyone else.
54-24. Hopkins up on Cambridge-Isanti. Go to halftime here at Williams Arena. More girls basketball on CCX coming up.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
(54-24). Number 1 Hopkins looking for win number 61 in a row, and a big lead on Cambridge-Isanti here in the Class 4A quarterfinals from Williams Arena in Minneapolis. John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson. Talked a lot about Paige Bueckers and her career and all the games that we've covered her. Ryan since 8th grade, our first TV game covering her against Shakopee. Back in her 8th grade season. And you could see even then, had the shooting range. Looked confident right as an 8th grader, didn't she?
Oh,
right in.
She had the great skill already at that point. The only thing you can tell is how much stronger she is now. You can see her not quite as strong as she is, but man, she was skilled then, and you could tell she was going to be a superstar.
And then our last telecast last week in the section final against Wayzata before a packed house at the Lindbergh Center. One of the little more fun games I think you and I had ever done. Just so many people at that game, and the Wayzata really pushed this Hopkins team to the brink there until they pulled away with some late baskets to win by 10. But it was a terrific game for Bueckers with 33 points as they secured their 6th consecutive Section 6 4A championship.
Unreal, 6 consecutive.
You look at her numbers and the highs, 43 points last year in a game against Wayzata, 33 this year. 18 assists in one of the games against Eden Prairie this season.
Yeah, she does it all. And look at that, 5 straight years. 31 points as a freshman. And these aren't coming against, smaller, obscure high schools. These are coming against some of the best teams and the best programs in the state of Minnesota. Mike Grant used to always tell me, John, that big players make big plays in big games. And you see a lot of those big numbers have come against Wayzata in big moments and big games.
And then some of the accolades that have come her way. The number one on her list, no doubt, is the first one that's up there, state champion. And that's what she wants again here this winter.
Yeah, you don't want to go down as the best talent ever to play in Minnesota and not be known as a winner, right? So those are no doubt the most important to her, but they're on their way to get number 2 there. But look at that, unreal. National Gatorade Player of the Year. What an honor.
She'll play in the McDonald's All-American game in Houston coming up on April 1st.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've gotten to interview her a number of times also, throughout the years, and always humble, always polite, always, you can see her taking time with little kids and people that want autographs and pictures. So I think that's the key too, and what makes her so likable is that she is humble. She hasn't changed. She doesn't have a big head or a big ego, and I think that's why people really are invested in her and cheering for her.
As we go to break, basket from the first half tonight from number 1, a three-pointer. She got 5 points, 5 assists. Her team up by 30 at halftime.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson at Williams Arena, halftime of our first quarterfinal round game in Class 4A. Hopkins, the number 1 seed, up on Cambridge-Isanti, 54-24. And Ryan, let's look at highlights from first half of play here. Paige Bueckers to Maya Najee was a force inside today.
Yeah, she really set the tone right away. They went to her early and often. You can see a great little touch pass. She was getting in the middle of that zone, got a ton of offensive rebounds too, and not to mention her defensive presence, blocking a number of shots, but altering a lot of other shots too.
Anna Swanson's been the top scorer for Cambridge-Isanti with 10 points so far. Put back for 2 more right there. Paige Bueckers, only a couple of baskets today, but has been able to distribute and play a good defensive and floor game for Hopkins, as she pretty much always does. Here's her three-pointer.
Yeah, I think she's only 2 for 3 from the field. Hasn't shot very much, but great hustle there, staying without traveling, leads to a fast break. She's had a number of assists. You could tell early on she wanted to get her teammates going, and certainly did that with Maya Najee.
Najee, 17 points, Battle and Adams, 8 apiece. Swanson with 10, Shaforgan with 8 of 18 of their 24 points. So for Cambridge-Isanti, what do you want to see from your team in the second half?
You're not going to win this game, right? I mean, but you just want to see improvement. You want to see your team being fearless. And for your seniors, it's the last half of basketball that you're going to play representing your team and your community. So go out and leave it all on the floor. Play with great effort and have fun. Play with a smile and just enjoy the moment. And if you're Hopkins too, it's always a tough spot, I think. When you're up 30 at half, you don't want to necessarily pressure and trap and pick up, but you want to stay aggressive. You don't want to get any injuries either. So kind of a tough spot too. Obviously a good spot. You want to be up 30 at halftime, but.
The good thing that they added in Class 4A, or in all classes of basketball a few years ago, which they didn't have for many years in 4A, is they added back in consolation. And so Cambridge-Isanti will get to play another game tomorrow morning, at least one more game in this tournament. For years, it was just one and done. You lose in the quarterfinals and you're out. You don't get quite the state tournament experience here. You get another day here and play another opponent tomorrow.
And that's great because it's this build-up. It's this big accomplishment to get to state, and then all of a sudden it can be done. So great for the kids to be able to play another game, maybe a couple more games, because it's a reward for having a great regular season, winning the section. You'd like to see a little bit more than just that one game guarantee. So that's awesome.
Underway here in the second half. Shafforgan starting to attack and gives the pass off. Olander, a little runner down the baseline. Up and in for her first field goal today.
I like Olander's game, and I like Shafforgan's too. They've not been afraid. They haven't scored a ton, but they make good plays.
KK Adams for three. Rings out and rebounded by Swanson.
You gotta like Swanson's game, don't you? I mean, nothing fancy, but she just gets it done. She can score down low. She is relentless on the rebound. She's had a ton of defensive rebounds.
Woodson gets the block on Almer. Bueckers distributing to Woodson who couldn't finish. And Shafforgan has it. And into the front court for Cambridge-Isanti. Now here's Olander, a little pull up in the lane, not good. Rebound to Battle. Adams put up another three, not good. Rebound, Najee up and in.
I like KK struggling with her shot, but still having that short-term amnesia. You got to forget about missing. She's wide open, took another shot. And Maya Najee doing what she's done all game, cleaning up the offensive glass and the putback.
Almer back down. Bueckers gets cut off. Shafforgan off to Swanson. Spins and then into the hands of Olander, who will run track next year at Minnesota Duluth. Shafforgan and Swanson will be teammates again next year at Bemidji.
That's pretty cool. They have, a team full of good athletes. And you can see they were favorites to start the year to come out of that section. Had kind of struggled a little bit during the regular season, but kind of put it together here and really been the team a lot of people thought they were going to be at the end of the year.
No trouble for Almer, but able to get it off to Shafforgan. Spinning, and Battle gets a block. Into the hands of Bueckers, who gets fouled.
How excited are you, John, to look at it? That's pretty neat.
Bueckers named a Gatorade Player of the Year. Carl Anthony Towns, you can see down the bottom right picture of the Paige Bueckers tweet, who came out, presented the trophy to Paige.
That's pretty cool.
Down low, up and in. There's two for Adams off the feed from Najee.
How excited will you be to actually watch her at UConn next year? You know what I mean? It's, just like we get to watch Wisconsin and Brad Davison, Colorado and McKinley Wright and, Trey Jones at Duke. Seeing Minnesota kids at the highest level, and there's a three knocked down by
Almer for three. Zeke Najee at Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fun. It makes watching college basketball fun. And of course, UConn is on a lot of national TV games, so it'll be a lot of fun it's been a lot of fun watching Paige in high school. It'll be even, I think, more fun to see her at the highest level in college.
Bueckers, terrific feed. Najee's got two more and 21 now in the game for the sophomore.
They might put up 100 here today.
They got 60, 14 plus minutes to go. I think they could put up 100. I don't know if they will today.
Yeah.
Boy, Battle.
Oh, she's everywhere.
So good defensively.
I think you don't realize how long Amaya is. At 5'11", she's only a sophomore, so she's going to continue to grow, but she's got those long arms.
Missed some time earlier this year with a back injury, and they really missed her in the lineup. Didn't lose the game, obviously, but they love her contributions on the floor.
Yep, averaging 8 points, but even more impressive, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals. So kind of does a little bit of everything on the floor. And she's another one, I think, when Paige is gone next year, her numbers are going to really explode because she's going to be handling the ball a lot more and being more of a scorer and playmaker, too.
Got 4 of the 5 girls on the floor right now. Notable exception of Bueckers will all be back next year. Contreras across for Battle.
It's not good news for everybody else.
No. And not good news that none of them were even juniors. Sophomores and freshmen. Bueckers puts it on the floor into the hands of Woodson. A little trouble with it, and a steal here for the Blue Jackets. Forgan for Olander. That one rings through with 3 for Almer's. Got 2 3-pointers here in the second half.
I really like her game. She's got a really nice shot. She hasn't hit a bunch of them, but great confidence, and she knocks it down.
Woodson misses. Olander rebounds. Woodson coming up, a little aggressive, picks up a foul. That's her 3rd.
Hopkins crowd doesn't like that, but there's a little bit of body on that.
And they're excited, Ryan. They just saw themselves on TV, and they're right behind where you and I are. They got to get excited about something here in the second half. Such great fan support. Those games we did at the Lindbergh Center this year, and those guys on the one baseline, and guys and gals, and real supportive of their program. And then a lot of them tonight will be at Osseo High School as the Hopkins boys play in the Section 6 4A final against Cooper.
Yeah, and that should be a pretty competitive game, I think, too. Pretty cool last year. I mean, it doesn't happen often where you got the one school winning both the girls and boys state championship. That's pretty amazing, and I think they got a decent chance of it this year. I think Eden Prairie on the boys' side is
heads and shoulders for everybody else so far.
So deep and so good.
But Swanson can't get the shot to go. Tie up on the floor. Hopkins basketball. Gar's played a nice game. As you look at her there, 7 points, and played well defensively, rebounding.
Nice
Bueckers,
pass.
great pass to Najee, and gets tied up by Shaforgan. Jump ball, it's back to the Blue Jackets.
Well, you get the feeling, too, Paige could probably have about 15 assists if a couple more were converted or not dropped there, but a great look. Good hands by the Blue Jackets to tie it up.
Olander off into the hands of Molly Hennon.
I think sometimes it would be even better than some of these games that Hopkins plays, and if they just did an inter-squad scrimmage and divided the teams up a little bit. That'd probably be pretty competitive.
Up and in, and a foul on Agara. The basket for Shaforgan. Her first in the second half. 10 points now for the senior. You look at that again. Had herself a little space.
Contact, yeah, nice looking shot. Shaforgan averaging 14 points a game, and like you said, going to Bemidji State, and just a good athlete. And you can tell, I like when she's got the ball in her hand. She's got a little bit of junk to her game, a little bit of pizzazz there, and she can get the ball to the basket and she can score.
Battle. Mid-range jumper not good. Swanson rebounds for the Blue Jackets. In some trouble in the backcourt, but able to get it off to Olander. Or to Almer. Out now Olander with it. Bounce pass back to Michaela Almer. Shaforgan, couple of dribbles, trying to get past Bueckers, and hands off on the pass to Almer. Backs out. Shaforgan with it. Got a little space to go down the lane, off the back iron a couple times and down.
She's got that quick first step, able to get to that mid-range game there, and she's knocked a couple of them down. Nice touch.
Almer knocks the pass out of bounds. Peyton Larkin and Miranda Broger back in for Cambridge-Isanti. Olander and Hennon out. 60-37, Hopkins leads. Scoring pace is slowed considerably here in the second half. There's 3 more though. Knocked down by Contreras, her first basket today.
I can tell you, if Hopkins is going to get into a close game in the state tournament, Elena Contreras is going to at some point make a big play. She's kind of that off the bench. You don't think about it. She had a really nice game against Wayzata too, and a couple of big baskets when they needed it.
Swanson gets her shot blocked. Battle ahead for Agara. She'll attack. Not good. Rebounded by Cambridge-Isanti. Shapurgan went to the floor for that.
Coach Cosgrove saying, how is that not a foul? I thought the same thing. There was a lot of contact on that. Nice pass. Wow.
Almer feeding Swanson for 2.
Michaela Almer, she's already a good player. She's going to be a phenomenal player the next couple of years. That was a beautiful pass over to Swanson.
Bueckers, skip pass across, battle for 3. Not good. Bueckers, rebound. What a pass to Agara.
All in one motion. Came down with it. She just knows where all her teammates are. You know, I think you go back to what you were talking about, you know, Jana Swanson. That ball's tipped out of bounds. Talking about mental health, struggling with her 3 ACL tears, but so important and so neat on her end to be able to speak publicly about it, because people at all ages, but I think especially at the high school level, you're going through physical changes, growing changes, the peer pressure, sports, all that going in. I think a lot of kids struggle with depression and with anxiety, and it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to admit to it, and she's a shining example. There's a knockdown 3.
She got an assist there and all smiled, able to feed Larkin with the pass.
And I think she's gotten a lot of assists with a lot of people that read her story and realized, hey, if someone like that can go through that adversity, feel down, and have the confidence to get help and to become better, I think truly a hero, truly a really neat story, beyond anything she's done in basketball.
Under 9 minutes to play here. Second half. Cambridge-Isanti cut that deficit here in the second half. Here's Wood set up for 2, gets the offensive rebound and puts it up and in.
She averages 15 and a half, and she's another one who I think, you know, if she was on her own team, could probably average 30 a game. She's so talented as well.
Pressure on the sideline, but Cambridge-Isanti able to break that. Woodson knocked it out of bounds.
I think for the most part, too, Cambridge-Isanti has done a good job handling that trap and that pressure, don't you? You know, haven't turned the ball over a ton. And you got to think, hey, we're doing what we want. We're taking care of the basketball. We're getting good shots, but we're still down 25.
Crashing to the basket, and we're going to get a foul on Hopkins. Yeah, and Olander's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Vaughn Adams was her first. Second one's through. 67-43 with under 8 minutes to go in the second half. Winner will take on Park Center at Stillwater Thursday at 6 p.m. here at Williams Arena. Lob pass and broken up by Swanson.
Yeah, nice job getting her arms in that passing lane, getting that deflection, able to get the steal. And that's what you want to see. Cambridge-Isanti not quitting, still playing hard, still competing.
Baseline left, three-pointer, the second one here for Peyton Larkin in the second half.
Great drive and kick, too. Nice job, nice pass by Olander to find her teammate.
Boyle off for Woodson. Mid-range shot not good. Swanson rebounds. Drive to the basket, and an offensive foul.
I was going to say that was a great screen by Swanson. She took out 2 Royals defenders there. Let's see if we can see if she was moving. Nice little crossover here. And here comes the screen, right?
Yeah, she did take out 2, but got called for it. Second foul on Swanson. So the pace slowed for Hopkins. I think Brian Cosgrip wants to see a little more rhythm out of his team here for a few minutes before he maybe substitutes his starters one final time. 3-point shot missed by Adams. His battle for the offensive rebound, tried to get it to Bueckers, and a nice steal by Almer, stepping in for that ball, and then through the hands of Brover and out of bounds. Turnover for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, and if you think about it, Hopkins really has not shot the ball that well today. They've gotten a number of looks, but that's okay. Like we talked about, it's a new setting. You'd rather have a game like this where you got a margin, get your shots in, get used to it, because game 2 is going to be against a little bit better team. Game 3 is going to be against a lot better team.
On the floor, another turnover for Hopkins.
Yeah. You kind of take that, it's that, like we said at halftime, it's that kind of weird area where you're not necessarily going as hard, trying to really lay it on, but you got to still be, efficient. You got to still be, attention to detail. You don't want to be complacent and sloppy.
Yeah, I don't know that they've been complacent here in the second half, but definitely a little more sloppy. And a good drive there for Olander, and finishes at the rim and draws a foul.
Yeah, she's attacking hard, but then had a nice little jump stop, a little shot fake, great patience, able to take a little bit of contact. You can see, knowing that Najee wanted to block that shot, that was just a smart play by Olander.
Third foul on Najee. Free throw off, and the rebound to Battle. 1-on-4 doesn't have the numbers and gets fouled. Then Almer, her second. Not a lot of fouls in this game, Ryan. It's been a
pretty well played.
Clean game.
Yeah.
That one's good from the corner.
I love that she's keep shooting and she's getting good looks, even though she hasn't been knocking them down. You got to stay ready. You got to stay confident.
Adams now with 13 points. Battle with the steal. And Olander gets back defensively. We're going to say it's off of. We're going to confer on this.
That should be Hopkins' ball. I think that's off Olander. Great hustle, though.
They're not sure. They're going to call jump ball. Swanson back in for Cambridge-Isanti. Battle the inbound for the Royals. Bueckers rises up and hits the jumper. Hasn't shot much today.
No.
Knocks that one down. Only 7 points.
I think she's 3 for 4 shooting. I don't think she's looked for a shot. That time almost too easy. Just caught it, able to take one dribble, get to that sweet spot, that mid-range.
Knocked out of bounds. Still Cambridge basketball. Megara back in. Woodson out. Look at it again off the inbound. And a smooth jumper down for 2 for the senior. 72-48, Hopkins. We wind down to 5 minutes to play in the quarterfinal round here at Williams Arena on Wednesday morning. Shot missing and rebounded by Adams.
Nice pass.
Najee up and in. So smooth around the basket. That was a great feed from Adams, too.
Well, I think the thing that makes Maya so good is it's not, obviously she's got great touch, John, but she knows how to get open. She had her timing of her cuts, and she's able to get great position. So all she has to do is catch and turn. And that was just a great cut, great look. And she knows her teammates are going to find her if she cuts hard.
Baseline left to free, up and in for Jackie Olander.
Offensively, I think Cambridge-Isanti much better here in the second half. A couple of nice driving kicks. They've hit a couple of threes too, really nice.
Agara from Bueckers gets fouled and will go to the line for 2. Free throw up and good for the freshman, Nunu Agara's got 10 points now off the bench. Ilya Boyle back in. London Salberg Thornton, sophomore in for the first time. Alicia Bates, sophomore in. Boyle back into the lineup. Agara's second one off, rebounded, foul up, not good for Thornton. On the floor, tie up, jump ball. And this should be Cambridge basketball, and it is. Four minutes to play here in the ball game. Olander, not good, rebounded by Agara. Bates off to Boyle, and to Contreras.
Oh, nice
now low for Thornton, stripped out of bounds, or knocked out of bounds.
That high-low has been there all game long against that zone.
Well, Brian Cosgriff has a family connection on this team. Brooke Cosgriff, a senior, doesn't get a lot of playing time. Probably will here before the end of the game. And we asked Coach Cosgriff about having his daughter on the team.
She'll come home some nights and say, you need to do this, you need to do that. You were too hard on this and that. And you don't need to do that. And I listen to her. I mean, she's very reasonable in that regard.
It's nice to have, get a player who happens to be your daughter. It's got the pulse of the team and say, Dad, you can back off on this or whatever.
Well, I think, and it shows great leadership too, to be able to say, you know what, you're probably right. And, great coaches, great leaders, great people in any profession, you need to be able to be told the truth, and you need to be open to it. And there's Brooke. You can hear our Hopkins crowd here chanting for Brooke.
Bates hit a 3 last time down the floor. Thornton here to the line, and got her name in the scorebook now. London Salberg Thornton, free throw. And they got them both. Hopkins gets to 80, just short of their season average for points. Under 3 minutes to go.
Nice cut.
Down low to the basket. Good feed. Almer getting it to Miranda Broger for the basket, and the senior captain gets her first points tonight.
Yeah, great look and a nice cut too. It's a little easier to hit those cutters when you don't have ball pressure right in your face.
Drive into the basket. Bates gets stripped, gets the ball back. Kelly Boyle put up a 3, short. Loose ball. Boyle gets it back, feeds it up, and back to the line. We'll go London Thornton.
Yeah, Boyle that time did a great job following her shot. A lot of people, they shoot and they kind of fade backwards. She knew it was short, followed it, got the rebound. Great pass.
Brooke Cosgriff getting ready to check back in. We asked Coach Bryan another question about his daughter.
I'm just thankful that she decided to stay with it. She's been a great teammate. She's been a great friend. I can't say enough good things about my kid. And I'm sure a lot of parents feel that way, but, you know, she's special. Unfortunately, she was genetically cursed with slow dad and a short mom, so.
And Brooke gets into the game now, number 0.
That was great.
Senior. Timmy Blazasiewicz also in. She's going to play next year at Carleton. Number 11. And she had the rebound a moment ago.
Pretty amazing they got someone that doesn't get a ton of time in and is still going and playing college basketball. Tells you the depth of this team.
Savannah Johnson, another one. They'll play. Ellie Solberg will also play in college. That shot up and in. A basket for Bates. Alicia Bates, quarterfinal round against Washburn. Here she didn't play a lot of varsity time. She had 20 points in that section quarterfinal round game. A nice turn to the basket there and able to score.
She's a scorer, and you can see why. She hit a 3 that time. A beautiful move and great body control, able to get the wraparound, take the contact.
Sezovic out. Molly Ensler now in. Free throw. Bates up and in. Courtney Strakota, junior, number 40 in. Cambridge-Isanti. Okay, Jones, number 14 in, shot short by Kelsey Carls, senior guard, but she'll go to the line and shoot. Brooklyn Terwilliger also in for Cambridge-Isanti, number 22. Ellie Solberg, senior. Ariel Patton, a junior, in. Hopkins getting everybody into the lineup here today with 1:15 to go. Shot not good. Rebound by Strakota. $85 points, Ryan, which is right around their season average, and that's what they've got here this afternoon, this morning.
And you get the feeling they probably could have done about 110 if they wanted to.
And a takeaway for Terwilliger. She'll go to the basket, up and around, not good. Rebounded by Larkin. Broger up for 3, that's not good. And the rebound by Savannah Johnson. And then Johnson gets fouled.
Yeah, great sportsmanship there, too.
We talked about Paige Bueckers and what a leader she's been for this group, but she had a lot of players help her along the way as well.
I've had some really great leaders that have been here at Hopkins with me. Nia Holly, TT Starks, Dee Dee Winston. I learned a whole lot from them. They made me understand the culture here at Hopkins, and they helped me so I can help these younger kids do it as well. They've taught me so much about the game, and they've took me under their wing, and they led me, and they made me who I am today, and they've done so much for me. I'm so thankful for them.
Alexa Davis with the rebound for Cambridge-Isanti. Madison Lawrence, Mariah Wiltrout, Evelyn Wiltrout, Jennifer Steinbring all in for Cambridge-Isanti. Short jumper by Mariah Wiltrout. Not good. The follow-up is up and in, though. Lawrence.
Kind of fun for
the basket.
The people that don't get a lot of playing time, get some time in here, get a basket on Williams Arena. Great memories.
$85-55 the final. Hopkins had a 30-point lead at halftime, and they win it by 30. Maya Najee, a huge game, 23 points for her. And they're going to need her to be big for 2 more days here. at Williams Arena, they're going to walk away with another championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the second round matchup for Hopkins, so you're going to get either Park Center or Stillwater. That's going to be the big game. We saw Park Center. You did the Park Center Hopkins game earlier in the year, and it was very competitive. And there's some pretty talented players on Park Center as well. So that next round matchup, I think, is going to be the one to watch for Hopkins.
Bueckers not a lot of points today, but able to distribute points to her teammates. A great passer as we've seen this year, and some of the highlights from other games this year, and just a terrific distributor of the basketball.
Yeah, and it does. It makes their team so much harder to guard because you're not trying to stop one person from scoring. You're trying to stop the whole team, and she just always with her head up, great feel for the game. Here's a bunch of nice, beautiful passes. And again, I mean, could have taken the layup there really easily. We saw tonight, or this morning here, gave up a couple of easy layups to get her teammates involved. And just to have that comprehension of getting your teammates involved is pretty awesome.
Hopkins at least into the semifinals and runner-up finishes for 3 years in a row until they came through with that championship. The 7th state title, but first since 2015 last year, that undefeated season, 32-0, and right now 29-0 heading into the semifinals tomorrow night against either Stillwater or Park Center.
Listen, you got a great program when you talk about it being a drought, not winning a state championship
4 years
since 2015 before last year. So yeah, they're loaded. I can't see anyone beating them, being able to play with them for a full game. And I'm just hoping there's a competitive game so we get to see Paige Bueckers really have to bring her A game, and it's fun to watch. We saw it last week against Wayzata.
Look at all the fans are going to wait for the Bueckers and some the other
I thought they were
players
waiting
that come up.
For us.
They should be over here if they're waiting for our autograph, and they're on the wrong side of the court, so they probably don't see us.
Carl Anthony Towns and the gang were there. I thought they were there to see us, but apparently not. Although we did make Carl Anthony Towns Instagram.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It just showed a nice picture of us and a big fat picture of my bald head, so it was great. Thanks, Carl.
Well, the semifinals and the championship games will be on KSTC TV, Channel 45. So this is our last quarterfinal round telecast of Hopkins, I should say. We still have Park Center Stillwater here to come here on CCX, but it's been a great run following this team, and 2 more wins for them. Park Center Stillwater going to have something to say about that tomorrow night, though. They're not going to let the Stillwater, the runner-up last year. Park Center really fought them for a long time as well.
No, a lot of fun, and it's been great. It's kind of sad, right? We've seen this with other great players. It's kind of sad when their end is over because we've been used to broadcasting for a couple of years. And there's Lindsay Whalen here in her home arena, scouting a lot of great talent. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun following this Hopkins team for the last few years.
Well, they win it today over Cambridge-Isanti. The Blue Jackets fall into the losers bracket, 20-10 now in the season, and Hopkins improves to 29-0. That will do it for our telecast today from Williams Arena. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Final score again here from Minneapolis. Hopkins 85, Cambridge-Isanti 55.